Hi viewers, I'm Purple Celery. It is so nice to be back. Thank you for joining me. Here we are at the start of a brand new series of Doctor Who, Series 13, otherwise known as Doctor Who Flux. And today I'm going to be talking about Chapter 1, The Halloween Apocalypse. There will be some spoilers in this video, so if you haven't seen the episode yet, maybe turn away now and come back once you've watched it. I'm just going to jump straight into my overall impression of the episode. Basically, I thought it was all over the place. There was a lot going on. There were a lot of plot threads. I actually made a list, which I'm just going to read out in no particular order. So we had the dog alien kidnapping Dan. We had those skeleton siblings going around vaporizing people and planets. The TARDIS was leaking some kind of oil or slime or something. Then we had the lady called Claire being terrorised by the Weeping Angel. We had Grey Worm from Game of Thrones in space giving his reports. There was also something happening in 1820 Liverpool. And then the Sontarans made an appearance at the end. I felt like a few of these strands slowly started to come together towards the end. But overall, I just felt the whole episode jumped around a lot. I appreciate that this is chapter 1 of an overall 6-parter, and I suppose in this first episode they're just laying the groundwork for what's to come. Even so, yeah, I just felt overall there was a bit too much going on, and I just query whether some of these plot elements couldn't have been held over until the second or subsequent episodes. I also want to talk about Dan, the new companion. So we know that Dan is a nice bloke who pretends to be a museum guide for some reason. He volunteers at a soup kitchen. He hands out lollies to children on Halloween, even though his own fridge and his own cupboards are bare. Look, you know, that's great, but for me, he just raised a whole bunch of questions. Like, why doesn't Dan apply officially to be a museum guide, or, you know, get a proper either paid or volunteer job at the museum? Does he not have a paying job himself? I mean, like, why is his fridge bare, and, you know, why does he have nothing to eat, basically? I'm obviously willing to concede that maybe there's a backstory there about Dan that will come out in future episodes. You know, maybe Dan did something that effectively banned him from ever becoming a museum guide or something. Anyway, I realise that I am sounding quite critical of this episode so far, which isn't my intention, because there were things that I did enjoy about this episode. For example, I did like the twist at the end where it was revealed that the dog alien was actually trying to save Dan, not to abduct him. I also liked the whole bit about Claire and the Weeping Angel. I felt that was properly scary. I'm also quite intrigued with the skeleton guy and his history with the Doctor, and, you know, how he knows her and the things that they've done together so far. I was getting Master vibes off the skeleton guy. I don't know whether it's some incarnation of the Master or something, but yeah, I just was getting really strong vibes, which just reminded me of the Master. I could be completely wrong, of course, but anyone else get those? I also want to just mention the Flux. That was interesting. Do you guys know what the Flux reminded me of? Especially if you're a slightly older viewer about my vintage. The Flux reminded me of the Nothing from the Never-Ending Story. The way that it just went about vaporizing people and planets and turning them into nothing. But maybe that's quite fitting, because in some ways the dog alien fellow, you know, maybe he was like a stand-in for Falcor. Maybe we just need a kid with a book to turn up and, you know, we're all set. Anyway, I also just wanted to mention that I also like the special effects in this episode, you know, especially the opening sequence with the Doctor and Yaz in handcuffs. I couldn't really fault that. Speaking of Yaz, I enjoyed her in this episode. I felt that she did a sterling job as the companion, rescuing Dan. You know, she's clearly travelled a lot with the Doctor by now. She knows what to do. She knows how to help other people who are in trouble. I also liked how she was, you know, challenging the Doctor to open up a bit more. That hasn't really changed, I suppose, but, you know, that's the Doctor for you. So that's probably over. That's probably it for how I feel about this episode. But I would love to hear from you guys. Overall, I'd probably give this episode a 6 out of 10. Having said that, I'm absolutely looking forward to the future episodes going forward. Also really keen to hear what you guys think about this episode. Did you hate it? Did you like it? Did you love it? Please leave your comments in the comments section below. Give this video a like if you've liked it. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Just a quick shout out as well. I have started a new playlist called Unsettling History. So if you like your history with a slight dollop of darkness and weirdness, please don't hesitate to check that out. No pressure. This channel will still be first and foremost a Doctor Who channel, so please stick around for Doctor Who. Anyway, this is Purple Celery over and out. I'll see everybody next week. Thank you so much for watching.